podcast, and I'm like, really, Karen? Really? Really? You have no filter? But other than that, no. I mean, I haven't killed any walkers. Or
I'm ready to grab the bull by the nutsack.
Yes, that I'm really proud of.
None. No, I think you're protesting too much, but okay. So
there was a time in prison, but I paid my dues.
You guys are probably wondering why we're not crying our eyes out right now, and I think we would be if we thought Glenn was really dead, but we don't.
Are we in sort of a mass, I think there's
Denial?
like a giant national feeling of denial. It's one of the stages of grief.
I'm almost sad not to be able to
be sad,
talk about this as if we really believed it, because eventually maybe Glenn really will die on the show, or maybe he is now and we just don't know it. But if he's not and he does later, then we can talk about it then, or once we realize that he actually is. But I can't pretend to feel like I'm all broken up when I don't. I don't usually go in for conspiracy theories and stuff, but there's just too much evidence. So for you people who haven't thought about this and who just think that Glenn died,
we're sorry for you.
I think this episode might cheer you up.
Yeah, exactly.
So come be in denial with us today on the
Yes.
Walking Dead cast. But I am going to talk about it, to the best I can, what I think my feelings would be if this really was the end for Glenn.
We'd be sad.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, here, let's just go ahead and get into it.
Okay.
Attention shoppers. Deadcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, it's Deadcast Top 5 this week. It's our top 5 highlights for Season 6, Episode 3. Thank you for not actually killing Glenn. No, it's just called Thank You. And so Karen came right in and asked me, how much are we going to talk about, all this stuff that's out there about Glenn maybe not being dead? I'm like, well, I think we should just be honest, as long as, it's stuff that's out in the public. I only have one thing that might be considered kind of spoilery. The other rest of it is just speculation.
Yes.
Based on what we've seen and what we know. Mm-hmm. So it's everything that if you just open your eyes, you would see it too. But what did you think of this episode?
I loved the episode.
Even
yet again.
when did you fall for it at all?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, me too.
I did.
All night long until I woke up.
I watched it this morning, and I fell for it until I watched The Talking Dead.
Mm-hmm. That's a huge, the Talking Dead is like the biggest thing that made you go,
Exactly. Did you see it as well?
No, but I read that he wasn't on there.
He wasn't on there.
And he wasn't in the in memoriam.
Mm-mm.
And Scott Gimple had some weird statement that just sounded like fuckery, basically.
Yes, that is exactly right. It's kind of crazy sounding, yes. And also Chris Hardwick kind of protested a little bit too much. He said, don't read anything into it that he's not here. Yeah. It doesn't mean anything. It just, we wanted to mourn with the viewers. And I'm like, yeah. Huh.
They did unless he really is dead and they're like, we got you all thinking he was going to be alive.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they did a horrible job of covering this up.
I think they did.
That's what I think.
Do you know what else I did?
What?
And you can cut this out if you want to, but I went to IMDb. Did you look at
IMDb?
IMDb
doesn't. It lists people who aren't actually in the episode. You can't take that as gospel.
Yay. Yeah. Well, that was one of my pieces of evidence.
If it says Stephen Young, it doesn't mean anything because anybody can put information in IMDb or take it out, I think.
Oh, is it like Wikipedia?
It's kind of like Wikipedia. Yeah, maybe there are certain people who are allowed to edit, but it's definitely not necessarily reliable.
Well, it was one of my pieces of evidence. Now I'm not as sure. How about you? Did you love the episode too?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
And you were sad all night because you were thinking, wow, he's dead?
Yeah, I was mad. That's why, actually, if he's still alive, then I think it's a much better episode.
Me too.
Because if he's... we'll get into the top 5 because I'll go into my thinking on it. But I give it a 4, maybe 4.1 or 2.
I gave it a 4.3. It lost points for almost killing or maybe killing Glenn.
I mean, I don't think that killing Glenn in and of itself is a horrible thing for the show to do. I would feel sad, but not in and of itself a bad thing to do, because as you know, I think the show is better when it
unpredictable
has the guts to kill off the characters. Otherwise, certainly, we don't feel they're in danger. But just something about the way that they were going to do it.
Right.
Okay, let's get into our top 5. You go first.
Glenn. I put that as my number 5 because I can't even pretend like I can wait for several ticks
What
down.
about Glenn?
All right. I just put here Glenn, period. Just Glenn. Dearest Glenn. And I wrote this before I was sure. So I wrote, Dearest Glenn, you were sweet, funny.
We still don't know for sure. Like,
we don't know for
I
sure.
don't know.
Okay.
I come off very confident about it, but I really don't know for sure.
Let me tell you how I feel about him. I feel like he's sweet and funny and courageous. He's one of my favorite characters on the show. Stephen Young is a delight to have on the show, and he's been so delightful to watch over the years. He's wonderful. That's all I can say. And it's a crap way to kill him off. If they did indeed kill him off, it was a crap way to kill him off, to have Nicholas kill himself and then drag him off a dumpster. I mean, here's a guy who's the most wily and clever and nimble of characters, and he gets dragged off by a guy who shoots himself. I mean, it's terrible. Traumatizes poor Glenn by shooting himself in front of him. Drags poor Glenn
Even
off
Olympic
the
athletes trip every once in a while.
I thought, you know what, the Olympics would be way better if every time they tripped they would get eaten by zombies,
or if they dragged someone else and they fell on top of them, and then all the other contestants started eating the guy on top. So yeah, and I thought Michonne too, when she was climbing over that fence and the zombies were grabbing at her feet.
Such a slow climber.
Yeah, like I thought she was a ninja and she could just hop up on a roof in 2 seconds.
I'm like, climb,
come on,
just
and
climb.
why are you kind of just sort of gently, waving your feet around? Kick those fuckers off.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, what are you waiting for? Why are you just
teasing them?
Why are you just on there?
Can't get me.
Yeah.
So Glenn, anything else you want to say about Glenn?
Well, I'm hoping that, as everybody predicts, that either Glenn rolls under the dumpster or that he wears Nicholas like a dead overcoat.
Human coat.
He wears him like
we're gonna feel so bad
coat.
if Glenn actually is dead, and we're being so callous about it. And so,
I'm not being
maybe
callous.
You won't. Well, we're being all like flippant. I'm not saying.
I'm deep into denial.
Okay.
It's one of the
This
stages
is what denial
of grief.
looks like, you guys. This is what denial looks like. If we do find out that he is dead, then we'll give him a proper mourning. I promise you. People who aren't convinced and who are like, why don't you care? We promise to care. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, maybe we should record this podcast twice. Once with us doing this attitude, and once with the, we're sure he's dead, and get all weepy.
Because I'm not sure, and I can't fake it. I'm a horrible actor.
I can't fake it either, and I'm really convinced that they wouldn't kill him off this way. There's just too much evidence.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, I'm going to go into my number 5. This is...
Do it.
I thought this one mostly through when I thought that he actually did die.
Oh,
and this
okay.
is
Let's
5
hear it.
signs that Glenn was about to die.
Ooh.
So, number 1, it's not 5 signs. It's just signs that Glenn was about to die. It's my number 5. I got confused. But anyways, he's the first one you see on screen. That's no big deal, but, in hindsight, it's like, there you go. When planning to split away from the group and go burn the building, he tells Michonne, we all have a job to do.
Yep.
That's a Herschel quote.
Yes.
So that's a bad omen to quote Herschel.
Bad omen.
And it's also just sort of a signal. They're giving him, callbacks and things.
Right.
He pulls out Herschel's pocket watch for no reason. I have something to do. I'm going to go pull out this watch and show it to the camera. Like, what? Why did you do that? I'm probably missing something, but
No.
he just wanted to think. What he had to do is in the script, it said, give some misdirection.
Right.
To make you think Glenn's going to die. And then he said to Rick, I think he said, good luck, dumbass.
Yes, he did, which was
Another piece of misdirection. It's a callback to season 1, episode 1.
Yep.
First thing we ever hear him say.
Yeah.
So that is a signal to people that he's going to die. It's too obvious. Like, these are
yes
misdirection.
And he's also was recently Maggie referred to him as a hero, and she talked about he's the kind of person that he is. He'd never leave anyone behind, and he gives everyone a second chance. So he's being built up as the grand hero,
which is what they do on this show.
What they do
before they kill somebody off. But to say "good luck, dumbass," for one thing, I thought he doesn't talk like that anymore.
He doesn't.
He didn't talk like that pretty quickly after that first episode either. I think they decided that he really wasn't a smartass. He was more earnest.
Yes.
So this felt out of character to me and just an excuse to do a callback. But anyway, when I heard it, I'm like, oh, yep, they're going to kill him off. And then getting stuck with Nicholas again.
Yep.
He already was stuck with Nicholas in the premiere this season, and it was a little sketchy whether that should be. So I thought, well, they wouldn't replay this beat again unless it was something bad was going to happen this time. So that was another sign. And then finally, when they were on top of that dumpster and they looked down at the zombies, you see just clear as day, as far, for me, Greg Nicotero right there. Like they only bring out Greg Nicotero zombie when the big stuff's going down.
I'm impressed that you recognized Greg Nicotero. Well done, sir.
I'm like, that's Greg Nicotero right there.
Wow, look at you. I'm really
I guess
really
I've been
impressed.
around him, for doing these panels and stuff. I don't know. You didn't recognize him?
No, I didn't until on The Talking Dead they pointed it out, and I was like, oh my God, that's Greg Nicotero. Of course it's Greg Nicotero.
To me, it was just almost like it was you there, That's Karen.
Oh, hey, Jason.
So those were the signs, and I think that they're all just cleverly placed misdirection.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. Yeah, I was thinking about, so in the few minutes in between The Walking Dead and The Talking Dead, when I still believed that it was true, I was thinking, poor Maggie, that she's also lost her dad Herschel, her sister Beth, and now her husband Glenn. And I'm like, that's just too much. You shouldn't ask that. But then it was like still 15 minutes left, and I thought, that's weird because there's still time left, and usually that's like a big finishing point of an episode, right?
And it was with Rick and everything.
Oh no, that was a great. I mean, we'll talk about Rick too, but I mean, it seems like Glenn dying should have been the finale.
Maybe, yeah.
It's big. It's big. And they didn't treat it as big. They didn't treat it as big enough. And then I thought...
that's another... Well, yeah. So what did you feel, though, when you thought he was dead? Did you have any thoughts of quitting the podcast?
No, because I had heard rumors a week before.
Yeah, there was some stuff in the news.
There was some stuff in the news. And so I'd sort of been a little bit spoiled. So I had a little time to prepare myself. And so I thought, I'm now coming to grips with characters that I like dying, and I have to remind myself, Karen, they're not real. Glenn is not real. He's actually played by a wonderful man named Stephen Yeun. And Stephen Yeun, by the way, if anybody wants to see Stephen Yeun in something, please go to Drunk History on Comedy Central and he's in the Hawaii episode. He plays Senator Daniel Inouye, and he's so funny and great. It's a fabulous episode. So, I can enjoy Stephen Yeun in a multitude of other things. It's okay. So I was okay. I talked myself off a ledge for the last week. So I've been feeling okay about it. And now I feel like all that talking down the ledge was for nothing because he's still alive. Unless I'm in denial.
Unless we're in denial. Mm-hmm. And then maybe you'll get back up on the ledge.
I've been on that ledge plenty of times.
All right. I think it's your turn, right?
I think it is too. All right. I'm going to say that this episode, I loved the writing, but I had gripes with it too. Let me talk about the writing. I think so far this season, the writing's been super strong. And I like that they're not afraid to be clever. And I think the writers are top notch. Even in this episode, which was an intense episode. Mm-hmm. And by the way, 3 really intense episodes in a row. Mm-hmm. But I'll talk about pace too at a different point. But Abraham had a good line about the Zeds munching on infirm raccoons instead of us. Hilarious.
And he called them undead, which I like because it's a traditional zombie term.
Yes.
Yeah, I think those guys are the only ones that have ever referred to them as undead, but I like it.
I heard them also referred to as something else in this episode. Shoot, I was going to write it down and I completely forgot. Sorry about that. Michonne also says when asked how does a zombie bite look, she says it's about what you'd expect, which is pretty funny. I think that was when she was talking to David, who wanted to go home to Betsy, and that was really touching. Really great stuff. I'm telling you, so many wonderful things in this episode to love, and the cliffhanger ending, and we'll talk about that later. Great. But also, here's my gripe, and I don't know if there's a writer's term for it, but you know the term Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Obviously. Are you flipping me off?
No, that's not the flip off finger. It's the ring finger. I'm playing with my ring. Go ahead.
That's not distracting at all.
That's hilarious.
So here's my gripe.
People do get distracted when I play with my wedding ring. Like I take it off and I flip it around my finger, and even if it's down here, and people look at me like, "Why are you doing that? Is your marriage okay?" I'm like, "No, it's fine. I just like to play with my ring."
Yeah, I play with my ring in meetings too. I flip it around too. I love my wedding ring. Anyway. If there's an opposite of Deus Ex Machina, it happens all the time on this show. Is there an opposite of Deus Ex Machina?
There's no one there to help.
Yeah,
no one comes in to save the day.
One of the definitions of a Deus Ex Machina, for those who don't know, an unexpected power or event saving a seemingly hopeless situation, especially a contrived plot point in a play or a novel. So, like, the opposite of that is suddenly a situation that's pretty hopeful, like Glenn's going to get away, and there's an alleyway that's blocked. And every alleyway in this town.
Oh, so that would be Diablo Ex Machina.
Exactly.
You got it.
Exactly. You know, suddenly a crow flew in and regurgitated the key to the prison. That's, that's a Deus Ex Machina. So anyway, they had a bunch of these this time, like the twisted ankle slowing down the whole group. I mean, that kind of stuff feels so contrived, and so there's some of that in these episodes too.
I get what you're saying. One thing about that, I think that was also about Nicholas just being inept, because Glenn was relying on Nicholas's understanding of this area. Where do we go? Just go down here, and it was totally the wrong way. So he fucked up again.
Well, the first time he led him to the feed store. I think it was the feed store, and it was already burnt down.
Yeah, so somebody else just had been luring some other zombies that way before and had the same idea.
Had a horde.
Damn it!
How can we get rid of the horde? So anyway,
okay,
yeah,
cool. Well, I mean, I guess if it seems contrived, I don't know. I still like it. Like when the zombies fell through the roof at the big spot.
Yes.
That was awesome.
It was.
That's a total Diablo Ex Machina.
Diablo Ex Machina. I think you should add that to Urban Dictionary. That's awesome.
So my number 4, which we've already talked about some, but these are the signs that Glenn may not be dead. My 5 was a sign that they would. Well, we already said he wasn't on Talking Dead. He wasn't in Memoriam. Gimple released this weird statement. I'll read it.
Let's hear it.
Dear fans of The Walking Dead, this is a hard story to tell, and when we were planning to tell it, we knew our friends at Talking Dead would be talking to you about it, and knowing you'd all be talking and feeling and commiserating. I knew we should say something about it, lest our silence say something we didn't mean to say or not to say, so I'll say this. In some way we will see Glenn, some version of Glenn, or parts of Glenn again, either in flashback or in the current story, to help complete the story. What? Why would you say that if this was a straightforward story? Talk around in circles and try to pretend like nothing is wrong, nothing to see here.
Either in flashback or in the current story to help complete the story. Really, Gimple?
I do think it's funny that he said, or parts of Glenn again, as if we'll see his head or something.
Head, his foot. Here, Maggie. Here's what's left.
Yeah.
His foot.
See, Glenn's still in it. Then what else? Yeah, you kind of mentioned it. It doesn't feel quite like a big enough death for Glenn. Close, though. I thought it was close. I mean, he's had this long history over the last season with and a half or whatever with Nicholas.
Yeah.
And if they're going with their usual thing of saying, if you're a compassionate person, you're probably going to die. Well, this would be the end of that arc. And I believed that they would do that because that's the kind of show this is. So it's not completely unbelievable that this would be Glenn's death, especially with how many zombies there were. That was pretty big. Mm-hmm. But still, it seems like he'll have something a bit more to do since he's been around since season 1.
Yeah.
But then the biggest, like, even just watching it, I was like, why are they showing it at this weird angle? They're not showing the zombies actually ripping into Glenn where they have with Aiden and with Noah, and his intestines are up in his face and his neck. It just looked funny, right?
Funny angle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, Mr. Blog mentioned this to me later today. He mentioned that the line Michonne had, have you ever been covered in so much blood that you didn't know if it was yours or Walker's or your friends? And I guess that also applied to Heath later on in the episode, but I think that was a little hint about Glenn. If he isn't dead, it's kind of ridiculous that many zombies wouldn't at least bite his toe off or something.
Yep.
That's a major Department of Suspension of Disbelief there.
Wait a second. They were
swarming all over
Nicholas
him.
Is a big guy.
Yeah. There's 1,000 zombies. Nicholas is not a big guy. Is he?
He's bigger than Glenn, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
And then Glenn sort of could use him as a human shield.
His head is fully...
His head's fully exposed.
Visible, yeah.
But his head is not as tasty, apparently, as Nicholas's entrails.
It's not very believable to me that many zombies would not at least bite him. But
can we ask Steven when we see him?
We have a Department of Suspension of Disbelief for a reason.
Yes, we do.
And we've had to invoke it many times on this show, and I think this will be another time.
I think so.
When we see Steven, what can we ask him?
Dead,
are you really
not
dead?
Dead, not dead.
No. I mean, we can ask.
Well, we're going to find out anyway on Sunday night.
No, we're not.
Why aren't we?
Because aren't you in charge of next week on The Walking Dead? What's happening next week?
Glenn's not dead. There.
that's their description. Yay! Celebrations all around.
Glenn's not dead.
That's hilarious. I thought it was a Morgan flashback episode.
Oh, I guess it is.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to wait at least 2 weeks. I think we'll see. It's an hour and a half, so there might be more to it. It's like Glenn is revealed that Glenn is not dead. For once, they finally say something specific.
Oh, sorry about that.
So here's the thing that's a little spoilery. So if you don't want any spoilers, you should skip ahead about 20 seconds or so. But here we go. So I hope you had your chance. But now there have been pictures of Steven Yeun on set with the actor who plays this new character, Jesus, who isn't even in the show yet. And so if Scott Gimple's trying to say he's going to be in flashbacks, well, that wouldn't be a flash. Well, he could still be on set with the guy, but not be in any scenes with him.
Was he an Alexandrian?
He comes into, I don't know. We don't know. But I'm just saying, the fact that there's pictures with the guy who isn't on the show yet means Steven Yeun has been around later on. But it could just be flashbacks. I mean, I really don't think so, but we just don't know. That's the fact. We just don't know for sure.
We do not know. Mm-hmm. We're not privy to that sort of insider information.
Nope.
We'd like to be, though.
Okay, I'm done. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't like to be.
I want to be. I want to interview Steven Yeun, and then we can air it after we find out definitively. Mm-hmm. So, Steven, if you're listening, we'll talk to you. Please be nice. Thank you. All right, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. I mentioned it before. I'm going to elaborate just a little bit of the pace this season so far. Mm-hmm. So far, the pace. Good Lord. It's one crazy episode after the next.
It's almost like one long episode. Yeah. Even though they went back and forth, it's all happening at the same time. It's like if there was a Walking Dead movie, this could be it,
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And can I just say that so far they haven't moved forward in time much at all.
Right.
I mean,
it's like a day, maybe, or half a day.
From the prison, it not much time has passed since the prison, honestly. Right?
Well,
I mean, I know they get a little funny.
They were on the road for a while. Rick's beard grew pretty big,
but weeks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that's really what we're talking about here. Yeah. We're not talking.
It's like a month, maybe,
right?
Since they were at the prison, and Carl's like aged 2 years. But Judith hasn't aged at all.
Judith is my barometer of time. Yeah. So kind of neat.
You're right. Yeah.
Though. Mm-hmm. Really amazing pace so far, and all three of these episodes had me sweaty and yelling, and think I've mentioned this before, but I watch this at 4:00 in the morning before I go to work and before I work out.
Can we just have a YouTube channel dedicated to you watching it so you can see
what it's like at 4:00 in the morning
sweaty.
With me sweaty, drinking coffee and yelling? In fact, oftentimes, my poor husband David's in the other room asleep. And this morning he said, "Wow, I heard a lot of yelling from the other room."
That's hilarious.
I said, "I'm really sorry." He said, "Don't spoil anything. Did somebody important die?" And I was like,
"You just said you
didn't want to. I'm not going to talk about anything." And so anyway, I would like, however, to have, and maybe we'll get that next week. We'll get a little more of a slow episode with Morgan, but maybe not.
Morgan and the Cheesemaker. That's the title.
Maybe that will be the episode that explains the
I think it is.
The Cheesemaker.
I think it is.
Really?
Yeah. I'll talk more about that later in the
yes, please.
Listener email section.
I busted up laughing about that after we recorded the podcast. I cracked up all the way home thinking about that.
Okay, my number 3 is, as best as I can, let's say Glenn did die in this episode. How would that be for me? And before I thought about it and came to the decision that he probably isn't dead, I was very sad and angry, and I even for a second thought, I don't want to watch this show anymore.
Wow, you went through all the stages. Look at you.
I did, because like I said, I wouldn't be mad at them for killing him in and of itself, but it's another sort of big definitive example of kindness being punished.
Yes, they love punishing kindness on this show.
Yeah, and he's been my favorite character as Rick gets darker. And Rick, he's still he's a formidable leader, and he has a point most of the time, but he's just getting brutal and uncaring.
Yep.
And Glenn is the one that has the heart still and still wants to save people and help and stuff, and has compassion. And to have him die by the hand of this guy that he had compassion for, basically. Well, I was actually glad that Nicholas didn't do it on purpose, because I thought when they were standing up there that Nicholas was going to shoot Glenn or push him into the zombies, that it was an accident. And he even thanked him, which I took as thank you for believing in me. For believing me,
right.
But, I guess what mitigates all this a little bit is I do think Glenn was not smart to trust Nicholas to help him in any capacity where danger is present, because Nicholas may have proved himself enough to train, but he still has this look on his face like, I am in shell shock and I don't know what to do, and I'm pausing all the time. There's a difference between being compassionate and being, to quote Glenn, a dumbass,
Yeah, exactly.
So I do feel like, I've said before, if I was Glenn, I would have killed Nicholas when he tried to kill me. Like, if somebody's trying to kill you, then all bets are off. So I just think it was dumb of him to trust him. And so then that makes it not totally a referendum on being kind. It's more a referendum on just being stupid. And if he's alive, will he? I hope that he is less stupid and less trusting with his life.
Yeah.
But I hope he's still just as compassionate and just has just as much of a desire to help people and things like that.
I agree.
And I hope that if that goes away, that'll be sad.
I can't imagine it would. It's his nature.
I mean, now that maybe he'll feel like, oh, look, I helped somebody and look what it got me. I almost died.
No, because Nicholas didn't mean it.
Yeah, maybe that might help.
He didn't mean it. Mm-hmm. All right, me?
Your turn. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry.
Oh.
So we're going to do something a little different, and we're going to interrupt this broadcast to present you our first sponsor for the week. It's Harry's.
Harry's.
I've been spending the last week putting together a Rick Grimes costume for Atlanta.
You're growing out your beard.
I just decided that I wanted to do it. No, I'm actually going to shave with Harry's tonight, but because he's shaved on the show now.
Oh yeah,
pretty
that's
closely.
True.
But the point of me bringing this up is I decided a week ago, you know what? I want to be Rick Grimes. And I got online and I got everything, the holster, the belt, the shirt, the cowboy boots, all from my computer. And these are things that I would have never been able to get without the convenience of the internet.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for it. And so figuring out what I was going to say for this ad today, I realized, well, another thing I never have to do anymore is go out and get razor blades or razors or shaving cream because it just comes in the mail.
Yep.
And it's nicer.
Yes.
And the store-bought razors, I always feel like, are ugly, to tell you the truth. And they're either cheap and shitty or they're too expensive.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're shitty and expensive. And the blades are ridiculously expensive. The packaging sucks. It's hard to open. So when I first heard about Harry's through another podcast, I decided to check it out right away. Their website was great. The razors themselves are cool looking in the simple classic way that I like. They're less expensive and higher quality. So higher quality, more convenient, less expensive. It's great. You can get on a plan and get things delivered every month depending on how often you shave, or you can just go get more supplies when you need them. If you get this limited edition Movember set that they have right now, it's razor, I think 2 or 3 blades, and shave gel or cream for $20. Then $5 of your order goes to the Movember Foundation for research and awareness on men's health issues like prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and poor mental health. Which I don't know why that's just a men's issue, but oh well. And they give a great shave, right?
They do. Yeah. I love my Harry's razor. And by the way, I was thinking about this. I used to buy plastic razors, and I would use them, and then they would break or get old, and I'd throw them out. And I was always so sad because it's a lot of plastic that I was putting in the waste stream. And my Harry's razor, it's going to last. The handle lasts and lasts and lasts. The razors last a long time. But when you need to replace them, all you do is replace the little...
Pop it off.
Yeah. They're great. And I love mine. Mine's the happy orange color. I think it's like the Truman.
Oh,
and
nice.
And it feels good in your hand.
Did David get one too?
He did. Yeah. He loves his...
What color did he get?
Harry's. I got him the orange one also.
Oh, yeah. What if you accidentally switch razors?
There's not a possibility of that happening because I keep my Harry's razor in my gym bag. And so every time I go to the gym, which is every day, I shave at the gym.
Okay.
So no mix-up, pal.
Keep an eye on David. He might switch him out. I don't know why he would. So the starter set is $15. That includes the razor, 3 blades, and your choice of the shave cream or the gel. I use the cream. Gel? Why?
I don't know. Just
like
because I always have.
Yeah. Cream feels more classic to me, but either one's good.
You put it on your face. I'm going elsewhere.
As an added bonus, you can get $5 off your first purchase with our code DEADCAST. So that's a whole month's worth of shaving for only $10.
Great. And
shipping is free. So if you go to harrys.com right now and use code DEADCAST with your first purchase, you get that $5 off. That's HARRYS.com. And thanks to Harry's for your support.
Thank you, Harry's.
Okay, your turn.
My turn. All right. I want to say the zombies seemed very, very scary in this episode. And they've been more scary this season. And I like that.
Yeah.
Very
they've been
much.
Great.
The zombie horde still coming from all over the place. There's zombies everywhere. So many. Did you notice, I guess, near the Greg Nicotero zombie, the one zombie that snapped its teeth?
They look more like the comic book zombies now, the Charlie Adlard zombies.
They're awesome because they've got stripped away skin now. And they're so great.
You know, when I did the season 2 finale and the zombies were storming Herschel's farm, they had us stand at even intervals. And I always thought that looked a little too organized.
Yeah.
We should be just clumped up and stuff in groups. Random, yeah. But now they just have so many zombies that there's no room. Yes. They're just all shoulder to shoulder, you know?
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
I think they said they had almost 200 extras on this particular episode.
I think it was 300.
Oh, was it 300?
Well, in one of these 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the first one,
It's crazy. There's so many of them. And by the way, I have to tell you that this just reaffirms what Zombieland has taught us, which is cardio is very, very important, people.
Yeah. Rick was getting some exercise.
Rick was running. In fact, on The Talking Dead, they interviewed Andrew Lincoln. He said he ran during this filming of the episode. And he also said that Norman Reedus was always laying down on the set. And he says he's the laziest mother clucker he's ever seen. He actually said it that way. It's cute.
His shirt looks almost sweaty. It's droopy, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's been dipped in oil. Yeah. How do I get my shirt to look like that without, sweating it up. I mean,
go out and run.
No, but for Halloween.
Oh, for Halloween. Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe you do
because it's too stiff right now.
Maybe you do like bring some baby oil with you, just a teeny little bit of baby oil, and you put the baby oil on it, and it'll look gross.
Well, I tried that, and it looked disgusting. Like I put some in the armpits, and people are just gonna think I'm sweating, and it's gross.
You're pitted through.
But his are like. It's like the whole thing was dipped in oil.
Yulin Womble can get him looking all sexy dirty. Remember? She's all like, "Oh, he looks all sexy dirty." Except she says it with a cute accent. Also, I have to say, I've been seeing these theories around about how everybody has hearing damage on the show because they've been around gunfire at close range so much without the proper hearing protection that everybody, including Rick, because at the very beginning, remember Rick was in the tank. The gun went off, and he must have absolutely had permanent hearing damage from that. So, and that's why all the Zeds can walk up to just about anyone without them knowing and attack them. I mean, they make a lot of noise. And even in this episode, a zombie came right up and chomped one of the Alexandrians, whose name I can't remember. So I believe that they all have the hearing damage.
Well, you remember we were trying to think of a name for when people do stupid things, but it's okay because it's a horror movie.
Right.
I was just thinking excusable stupidity, although this isn't necessarily stupidity, huh? It's not hearing the zombie. I don't buy that. Not everyone's been around gunfire. For example, the Alexandrians haven't. But it sort of fits into that category of, well, it's a horror movie. We want them to be able to be attacked by surprise by the zombies.
Well, they're attacked quite a bit. So there you go.
Okay. My number 2 is giving up. There's a lot about giving up in this episode.
Yes, there is.
Especially by the Alexandrians, they're more ready to give up.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they have been safe and suddenly they're confronted with this massive amount of horror.
Yeah.
And they haven't had to work up to it and they don't really have the fortitude for it. And, as much as we don't like being uncomfortable, we actually get stronger and grow through adversity in our lives. Yes, we do. Mm-hmm. I have to think about that as a dad because my instinct is to make everything easy for Nico, but then he gets spoiled, right? And he's like whining when we went to Modesto. It's too hot because we're here in the Bay Area,
Well, and that's
so
and
now
that's,
I've been sticking him in a hot room every day. I'm just kidding.
And that's problem solving. So kid, all right, it's too hot. How do you want to solve that problem?
I want to go home.
Well, that's one. Sure, okay, that's one.
I want to go home.
All right, kid.
Shut up.
Where's the Greyhound station?
Just get on that bus. San Francisco. So examples of giving up. This ranting guy in the woods was saying, "We're done, and it's because of him." Mm-hmm. And then he promptly died.
Which always happens. Don't criticize Rick. You'll die.
The guy with the wife. I didn't catch his name, but
David. His wife
David?
And his wife Betsy.
Betsy, yeah. Okay.
I think it's David.
Okay, we'll say David. So David said that Aaron found him early on and he lost everything and had given up on being someone, an actual person. He goes, "You know what I mean?" And Michonne said, "I do," because she did that when she was walking around with the zombies.
With her pets.
Yeah. This one guy, I think his name is Sturgis, he just ran off into the woods. I thought that was so funny. Yeah. I can't take it anymore. And he may have died. I think they found his hat later. Right?
And they found him.
Oh, they did?
He was a zombie buffet.
Okay.
Yeah. So. There was the hat, and then there was Sturgis being fed on by about 20 happy zombies. And then they turned around. I think Glenn grabbed Nicholas and turned everybody around and hightailed it out of there.
Okay. And then Rick told Michonne and Glenn that they would lose some of the Alexandrians. He said, "These people aren't all going to make it. You try to save them. You try, but they can't keep up. You keep going." So he was basically telling them to give up.
Yeah.
And they refused to give up unless the person was being eaten already and there was absolutely nothing they could do.
And there was the other girl who got bit and she was she had her ankle twist.
Yeah, I mean, they were right on top of her. They were still I don't know what to do. And then they finally make it back, and they only one guy. There were a lot of red shirts this episode.
There were a lot of red shirts.
There was the ranting guy, the guy who ran into the woods, the girl who got her ankle hurt, and the other injured guy, and I think there was one more, and they all died except for the last injured guy. And I was thinking Rick would say, well, I told you they all wouldn't make it, but you could have saved at least half. Jeez. That's all you got? Just one? And Heath?
There's a lot of dead-end alleys in that town, Rick. A lot of dead-end alleys.
And then Nicholas, he gave up. Big time.
He did give up.
Shot himself in the head.
Oh, Nicholas. He looked crazy at the end, too. Did you see his eyes? All crazy eyes.
He's great.
He was wonderful.
Trenor, I found out. He's a good guy, too. So as much of a lame-o as Nicholas is, Michael Trenor is a good actor.
You know what? I got
to
say, all the meanies, all the lame asses, they all end up being the nicest people.
Yes.
I like that.
Morrissey and Andrew J. West.
Oh, and he's
Andrew
beautiful.
J. West.
Oh my God.
He's so nice to me. And
dreamy.
We did a panel, and I was sort of teasing him on the panel because we were talking about how he always plays evil characters. And even in that show Greek, he started off as just some frat dude or something and ended up being a heel who cheated on his girlfriend, who he ended up marrying, by the way, that same actress. But anyway. But he's like, I'm really a nice guy, though, behind the scenes, right? And I'm like, oh, sort of. I don't know. And I thought it would be funny, but I think it hurt his feelings because he didn't seem as open afterwards. You know how I tease? The people in the audience laugh.
Yeah, you tease because you care.
Yeah. I mean, I love that guy. So I'm going to maybe apologize to him at Walker Stalker and see if I could just be imagining it. But
he's so dreamy.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. Anyways, I think this episode is a challenge for us to not give up on Glenn.
Let's not give up on Glenn.
No matter what they say. Even if they burn him alive, I don't believe it.
Yeah, it was about trying to find your way home. I mean, also, half of them were trying to get the zombies away, but the other half were just trying to get home, which is a really touching metaphor also. Anyway, where were we?
Number one.
Rick in peril. So first, I'd like to ask you, did Rick get bit?
No, I think he cut himself.
He kept holding his hand like he had had a deep wound, like maybe he was grabbing a machete or something.
So Mofevo wrote in and said, quote, I realized it was quick, but Rick cut his hand on the blade of the knife/machete that was already in the skull of the walker. Okay. As he ran up to that group of 3 to 4 walkers feeding on the road, the first shot from the other direction showed something sticking out of the walker's head. Okay,
so like if you put your hand on a dead zombie's head, and then for the other hand, you pull out the weapon, you could easily slice open your hand as you're drawing out the weapon, unless you're careful.
I don't like to think about that.
No, I don't like thinking about that either.
So
but anyway,
it seemed significant. Okay. Is that going to somehow cause him a problem?
Hopefully not. Hopefully he'll get back. He'll get stitched up by the gal who's a psychology major. Sorry, psychiatrist.
Yeah, because that'll be so interesting if they just stitch it up and it's all fine.
Obviously something else happens.
Maybe. I mean,
we don't know.
Seemed like it, right? Why have that happen if it's just going to be a cut
holding it. I was like, did you get bit? But okay, good. So also at the end, another cliffhanger. He was attacked in the RV. Mm-hmm. Was he attacked by wolves? Was it the wolves that frickin' Morgan let go?
I don't know. I didn't recognize the guy.
There were 5 of them. He
was a bad shot. He comes in shooting and didn't hit Rick. He
wolves
shot
don't
off like 3 or 4
use guns,
times.
Remember?
He doesn't know how to point it.
No. Wolves apparently never get firearms.
I was wondering is when he saw people outside and shot through the RV at them with an automatic, he didn't check to see if they were wolves. I guess they were, but I was like, did he just kill some innocent people? Like, he never went out and looked.
They weren't innocent. They came in and tried to kill him.
One of them did, but the other 3 that he shot were just, I mean, they probably,
2.
I think they were probably